Chelsea lost. If we had made very good uses of our chances in the first and second half, we could have beaten Tottenham. But it's a game, so we'll pick the lose.
Okay, let's go around for initial comments. Let's come to you, Ebenezer. Ebenezer, what are your initial comments after the game? How are you feeling? Ebenezer, can you hear me? Eben, how are you feeling? Okay, Eben is struggling to hear me. So then let's go to Selikim. Selikim, how are you feeling after the game? How are you feeling? Tell me.
I don't really, to be honest with you, I'm not really feeling good. All for the thank you very much. That is not what is made up of.
We should give everything to God.
So football is made up of 3 things to lose. So I'm feeling cool.
Okay, really cool. Abeku is sitting down. Yeah, I see Abeku sitting down in his Chelsea jersey, of course. It's still Chelsea. What can we do? Abeku, how are you feeling? Initial comments, how are you feeling after the game? How are you feeling? We've lost by 5-4. How are you feeling?
I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
Yeah, you're not happy. Yeah,
I'm really down.
Yes,
I am really down. This is a game we should have won easily. I don't really understand. I don't know when Lampard is going to make us happy. I'm above our head know that this game is ours and we'll take it. Yes. It's so difficult to understand Lampard. It's difficult.
Very difficult to understand Lampard. Okay, so maybe we should just start with let's start with the analysis. Let's start with how the game started. Tomori, Kedzuma, Benchiro, Asley. These were the defenders. Mendy. I saw a number of you already doing some analysis on Mendy and on the penalty shootout. I thought Mendy had a good game. Zuma and Tomori still showing us that they are the raw defenders we know, ballooning the ball left, right, center. There were a couple of last-ditch tackles which were encouraging, but overall we didn't see a lot of movement of the ball. And I think again it's problematic with Kovacic and Jorginho. Their double pivot in front of the defense is problematic because they enjoy passing the ball and thinking about the attack. I mean, fueling the attack. On many occasions, we didn't see Chelsea getting on the offensive as much as they would, unless we saw a long ball. The passes are always sent to the back, and you can understand probably that's why they put too much pressure on Kepa. Too many passes going back. Overall, they try to manage us as well they can. We got Mason Mounts, you had Hudson-Odoi today being giving a full run out. I don't know what you guys made of it, but I feel that, it was still very tight. I'll give you guys my match ratings shortly. Shortly on what I thought of all the players. Yes, but generally, I thought it was a very wasteful day. We had a lot of opportunities and we could have tried to score goals and we failed to do that, and that was just our problem. So let's start with the back line. Let's see what your analysis are with the back line. Kedzuma and Tomori. What did you make of it, Selikin? Selikim, if you can hear me, Kedzuma and Tomori. Yes. What did you make of Kedzuma and Tomori?
No, I think Kedzuma and Tomori, it wasn't a bad pairing, but I could see that kind of toughness mentality that is supposed to have at the back at the last minute, the equalizer. They were not having it because you could see it as like our defense people are supposed to play over there. But so far as they have been given, they need to remember that they are capable of doing it so that they shouldn't do it for any defender. But to see the last minute play that they did, it wasn't encouraging. I wasn't impressed about their pairing today, seriously, because this game just take control over them like that. Seriously, I'm not impressed about the defensive pairing at all.
So you're not impressed with the defensive pairing there. I think that's the point that you're making. It's very clear to us. Not impressed. Nanayao Aban has joined us. Nanayao, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine as well. Let's hear from you. What were your thoughts after the game? What were your thoughts?
Yeah. every every day same problem. Our defensive problem is becoming so consistent.
Yeah.
Especially with our pivots. I mean the central defense. It's problematic. One today we played two young centre backs. The inexperience cost us, especially the goal. The goal is too easy. We could have avoided this goal. It was full sloping from our defense. We had so many players in the box, yet instead of us to do mark, and we were just watching the ball and leaving the players behind and see where Lamela came from, and Emerson was nowhere to be found. So I think our defensive problem is something Lampard really need to work at. Yeah, it's very you see, even anytime they come at us, we were all over the place. They were bad today. But anytime they try something, you could see that all our defense were all over the place. And it's problematic. And from the midfield too,
very
I
difficult.
think that Mount and our central midfielders, like the connection is not there. We're supposed to pass it to the forward, but he himself was nowhere to be found. He was probably behind the Tottenham players, which was more difficult for us to go forward because we tried to play through to carry the ball to the strikers. He was rather behind the defense of the Tottenham, and whenever they get the ball, they raise their head and then they have to bring the ball back. And it is something that Lampard, if Mount he want to play the number 10, he should play it well. And today I think that individual mistake, Oxnodoi and Mount inexperience cost us. From the latter part of the game, we could have killed it. See, and overall, same problem, and it's hard. See, I was wondering if Tottenham were to play their full attackers, they could have scored like 4-3, 4 or 3 goals. Because as soon as I you see that and tomorrow we're panicking. They were making slow.
I think I understand you, Nanaya. I mean, clearly there's a problem there with the team. Okay, you can mute now. Let's go around. Sell mute for me as well. Let's come to Isaac. Isaac, how you doing? How you doing this evening? Isaac, how you doing? You're good?
George, I'm good.
Another difficult night. How was it? How did it go?
I think that it's a difficult night though, but to me personally, I think we're improving bit by bit. On the positive side, I could see that in the first half, we did well. Our composure was very good. That is how I would put it, especially with the defense. But when we came for the second half, then Tottenham took over. They were pressing, and in fact, we were let me say, beating about the bush.
Yeah.
But you see, penalties it can go either half.
Yeah.
And now I've psyched myself to the extent that I know we are still at the rebuilding stage. So I just don't want to expect more so that I will be disappointed. But I will say that, yes, kudos to the boys. The first half, I was impressed. with my personal opinion, I was impressed in the first half, especially with the introduction of Shiwa.
Yeah.
He really did well. His recovery rate and other stuffs, I think that if indeed he's been given much playing time, I remember how Joko, the way he was playing the ball, I really remembered. Ashley Cole. Sorry, Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole. Okay.
Yes, yes. So I think that, and we shouldn't also take anything from the keeper, Mandy. It's early days yet though, but I think that with what he did, we should encourage him, and he will give Kepa a good run for his money. And I think that hard night though, but like I said, with penalties, it could go either way. So
yeah. I think most Chelsea fans are rather thinking about there were too many opportunities to prevent a penalty shootout, and that's where the team would need to understand, because at this stage it was all about getting the goals for the team, and it was all about group work, basically.
Exactly.
So if Callum Hudson-Odoi had an opportunity to pass the ball, you pass the ball out to your right with a player who is free on the 18-yard box, and you don't selfishly take a shot and kick it over. If Mason Mount had an opportunity to send a pass to Timo Werner, who was also waiting to receive the ball, then after all the time, all he did was hit the ball feebly and somebody take the ball away. We had so much. We were not supposed to end this game even in penalty shootouts. Sure, and the game of football, exactly. when you have too many chances and you miss them and you don't use them, you are often punished. In fact, it looked like Spurs were going to score the second goal because the pressure was on the team. And you go into the penalty shootout with a lot of psychological pressure. And the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi or Mason Mount knew that they had made serious mistakes that could have allowed the team to win. So they came into the penalty shootout with some kind of pressure. And I think it just told on them simply. If anybody was going to miss the penalty shootout, I suspected that it was going to be, Odoi, or it was going to be Mason Mount. And it wasn't surprising that he ended up in the end. So this is actually what the Chelsea fans are talking about right now. When we have opportunity to score the goal, we need to score the goal. So we understand the penalty bit, like, okay, yeah, it's fine, penalty shootout. Yeah, anything can happen. But why do we have to get to the penalty shootout against a very poor Spurs side? I mean, Spurs were absolutely poor. And if you have looked at our games that we have played in the Premier League, it was about the easiest. Very, very poor side until they started stringing some passes in there. So I think the questions now need to be asked of the team now. Guys, what do you make of Callum Hudson-Odoi? I mean, what do you make of him? He scored a goal in the last game. He's come in, shown a few brilliant patches and all. Is he the player to start? Is he a starter? I think that's the question to ask. Let me please mute your that. My question is he a starter? Ebenezer, what do you think? Do you think Callum Hudson-Odoi is a starter? Is he a starter? Or he's supposed to be coming on with the little energy that he has got, the little experience that he has got, just to come on and cause some trouble? Is he a starter for you?
Personally, for me.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
Okay, yes, go ahead. Salom, go ahead. Is he a starter?
Okay, personally for me, I think he shouldn't be a starter, because looking at he's still young. He needs to learn from the other ones in the game. So Lampard has to be putting him down from him to learn from others. I get in it. But what I could say is that what Lampard is kind of trying to be racist, something like that. Today, the boys, they were really clinical. Their defensive is improving and a whole lot. But for starting that particular boy, I don't think it will send us to anywhere. So he should look at that aspect. Yeah, that is, to me personally, I think.
That's what you think.
It's difficult. Yeah, that's what.
It's actually difficult to say. Yeah, I know that. I know those are some of the issues that come up. But it's difficult to say Lampard is racist, isn't it? It's very difficult because he's gone out to buy players who are not English, isn't he? He's got one or two of them.
Yeah. He got one. I just don't know what you see. What is doing?
We're trying to sort out that. Yeah.
What he's doing that most of us we don't like is playing some of the players out of positions.
Yes.
Out of position. You cannot force a player to play a position that maybe he will not do well. Look at the other time. That was West Brom. When he played this guy in his position, the guy was able to coordinate well, move the ball, have it. Do you get that? Yeah. But this time around, playing Mount in a position that is not favorable for him, it will be a whole lot, and the other guys too as well. So that is why I use the word racist. So that kind
I
of
get you.
mentality. When he changed it, I think we could move forward with the club.
You know, guys, I've just been trying to think about why is Lampard obsessed with Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount does some defensive runs, and maybe the fact that he can tell Mason Mount to do anything and he will do it, whether it means running, killing, cutting his head, whatever. Mason Mount is ready to do it. It's a feel, but again, you feel that Lampard will have to get to the point where we are trying to get the best out of the team. The problem with Lampard is he doesn't know what his best team is, and that's a problem.
That is it. It's not having
everything because, for instance, the defenders, I don't. After every game, he's switching. What happened? Have a back four that you can trust at least, and let them go on a run of like maybe 3 or 4. But Chelsea changing the back line, changing this guy, and the team is always changing. So there's no synergy. There's no synergy. Last time it was Christensen and Thiago Silva, and then today it was Tomori and Ketsuma. It's such a big call. Lampard has a big to do when it comes to deciding what to do. Yes. Yeah. It's too much. It's too much. Everybody realizes that our coach is an inexperienced coach and everything. Let me come to you, Abeku. Abeku, what do you make of the Kovacic-Jorginho combination? I thought it was 2 players who love to pass the ball about, and we're just passing, forgetting that we have to go forward. When N'Golo Kante came in, you saw immediately that there were a lot of forward runs all of a sudden. The Kante was just running in and sending in the passes up front and trying. But Kovacic and Jorginho were producing too many back passes. And if Kepa was in the post today, you put him in trouble. What do you think?
Yeah, George, I agree with you. And it was clear because, our movement to the upper part of the field was always slow. Because anytime Kovacic gets the ball, he turns around and he goes looking for either Tomori or Zuma to kick the ball to. And anytime Jorginho gets it, he's either going on the flanks and not looking for either Mason Mount who will connect with the attackers. So you realize that we were not being able to move the ball as fast as we can and as fast as we should. But the moment Kante came in, that was where you realized we were able to enter the box of Tottenham.
A number of times, yes.
Yes. If Odoi had not been that selfish and has just moved the ball to Tammy Abraham, I think would have been up there by 2-1. If Mason Mount had just moved the ball to Werner, I'm pretty sure we'll be ending the match with 3-1, not 1-1, and ending up being kicked out of it through the penalties. If you look at the game on the whole, okay, I will put the blame at the doorstep of Lampard. Lampard is doing too much try and error attitude. He needs to stick to a plan, believe in it, and work with it. We cannot, if you ask any Chelsea fan what your first 11 is, nobody knows. We cannot even predict who will be pairing who at what time. And I don't know what he sees in the English boys. These guys need time to grow. Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Odoi, every moment you put them in, yes, they are good. But you see, it takes character. The EPL demands more. We need to get our boys to realize that it is not the under 19 of England they are playing. This is Chelsea. We don't have time. We spend so much money. And you have these boys that they are tried and tested. And because, I don't know, whether Mason Mount is being always associated with Lampard, he plays like Lampard, he moves the ball like Lampard, so it eats into his head, and every time you want to feel the Mason Mount. But you realize that anytime he plays him, the role that he's supposed to do, especially in today's match, he was not even linking the midfield with the attackers. He was playing 10, but you could hardly see him. He was totally out of the game. You could hardly see Mason Mount. If Kai Havertz has been there, I am pretty sure we would have dealt with Tottenham in the first half. Because the first half, we had everything to pin them down. They were not coming out. They allowed us to play. All did we do? We just ended the first half with just a single goal. And it had to take the brilliance of Werner to give us that goal. I believe Lampard will have to do more. I am not really enthused about what he's currently doing. We lack consistency. The only thing we are good at is our inconsistency. you can bet that Lampard will never pair 2 players consistently for 3 or 4 matches. He will never use the same lineup for 3 or 4 matches. You can bet that every time he will change it. It's as if he really doesn't know what he's doing. And I don't know when he will come to terms of the position he's holding. This is not any other team. George, this is Chelsea.
Yes.
Yes, this is Chelsea, our Chelsea. Yes.
Yeah. I know. Good point there. Let's see those who just joined us. Presiding Bernard. How are you doing, Presiding Bernard? How are you doing?
George, I'm good.
Good. Let's hear from you. What did you make of the team? What did you make of the team, basically? And I think we want to talk more about what happened to the team during the regulation time rather than penalties, because penalties is out of everyone's hands anyway. What did you make of the team, Bernard?
Yeah, sure. For penalties, it's for everyone too. It's everyone's game, so you can miss, you can win. Yeah, but
that's right.
I think last Saturday I was so critical about Lampard, and today I think we did well for the first 15-30 minutes. You can see the intensity of how hungry the players were. But after the goal, we were like a bit of relaxing. I don't know whether Tottenham came in or we were relaxing. But I saw it like we're not picking up the second balls again. Yeah, we relaxed. We're not picking up the second balls again.
Yeah.
We're not hard on the tackles, fast, like we were pressing high and pressing them very hard deep in their own half. We relaxed for them. And the second half was a similar thing until, as Abeku said, N'Golo Kante came in and things became a bit okay. I think it was just, if we were a bit clinical up front, we could have won this game before regulation time. But as you said, penalties is for everyone. And I will not blame Lampard that much this time. I think this is the pairing I wanted to see. Tomori playing Kedzuma. Seriously, I wanted to see that partnership. I think it worked perfectly until we relaxed in the middle, and Jorginho and Kovacic were doing those square passes and backwards passes, and things begin to get out of hand. But overall, it's penalties, George, and we can't blame the players that much. I think the Mount issue. Mount is a good player, although a bit inconsistent when it comes to decision making in the final third. But Mount is growing, and our players that we are depending on them to come back are in injury. So I don't see why people should blame Lampard that we can't get first 11. I want us to take our time, hold on for Lampard. Let Ziyech and Pulisic comes in. Let's play 2-3 matches. Let's see whether Lampard will have first 11 that we can all predict. Then I think we can go on and speak our mind. That is it, George.
Okay, that's your point. That's the presiding Bernard. Okay, let's see. We've got a new one joining us. Sulemana, how are you doing? Sulemana, how are you doing? Sulemana, are you there? Okay, Sulemana, you're not there. Are you there, Sulemana? No, Sulemana is not there. Okay, so that's another angle. Like, we make the point about Mason Mount. I know a lot of people are not very excited about it, and I think generally the problem is that the team is not jelly. Can we give the team that excuse and say that we need to see the boys coming up? Because I think that still creating is a big issue for Chelsea. I mean, creating is a big issue. Now, look at the final, and just to give you an idea of how much of a problem creating is for the team. Look at the final 3 minutes when Chelsea needed a goal. Chelsea was passing like we're trying to hold on to a result. And it wasn't because we wanted to hold on to a result, wanted to score, but it was because nobody could break down the Tottenham side that they had gone back. And this is the Premier League. The Premier League, you have a lot of teams with banks of 3 and banks of 4. So it tells you that, okay, well, we don't have the likes of Ziyech and Pulisic and people who are daring to go on and take on players. And it also exposes the other issue of having no wingers. The lack of wingers is another issue, because then you are waiting for everything to go through the middle. And when N'Golo Kante carries the ball and comes up there, he realizes there are too many people. He passes the ball, then he goes back, and we kept on passing the ball around. I'm like, guys, it's 1-1. We need a goal. Tottenham Hotspur look like they want to defend, and we can't break them down. So that is another issue for Lampard to solve. But Aben, I don't know if Lampard is fine. Is he going to be totally fine if Ziyech and Pulisic join the team?
George.
Yeah.
Why should a whole team like Chelsea depend on only two players? Why should we depend on Hakim Ziyech and then Pulisic? So does it mean that if these guys stay for long, Chelsea will not click, Chelsea can't score, Chelsea can't win matches? Is that what we are saying? It shouldn't be so. See, I thought that after maybe 60 minutes, Lampard could have chosen either Jorginho or Kovacic, and then bring in Havertz or Barkley.
Yeah.
These two players, they like attacking and then linking up with strikers. Lampard saw this and they refused to change. Mount was very, very tired. I saw it, and I think everybody saw it that Mount was tired.
I think that last pass he was tired. That last pass he was tired. I just think that the last pass he was tired. I was like, what was that? Like, I'm really my busy mouth.
And then this guy will still be on the pitch doing nothing.
Yes.
He absolutely provided nothing for the team. So why don't you change him and then bring in Havertz? Was there? He can link up. Let me take you back to last Saturday's game. You see how Havertz was running up and down, linking up with defenders and then even the midfielders themselves. This guy was on the bench. Barkley was on the bench. We didn't do anything, and they were just looking at the match. He was just enjoying the match, standing beside on the pitch, enjoying the game. The coach was rather enjoying the game. He was not watching it in a tactical way. You understand? You see, talking about the whole team, I will start from the defense. If Thiago Silva made a mistake, fine. It is part of the game. You change Thiago Silva and then you bring in or you brought in Zuma.
Yeah.
You don't need to change the two of them. It's either you maintain Thiago Silva, you bring in Zuma to pair with him and then see if it will work for the next game. But you totally change the whole defense. The whole defense, you change it because Chris James was on the bench. He didn't start, but last Saturday he started the game. So what do you have to change also? At least maintain two of them or three of them and then bring in one just to see if they can link up, they can click very well. And then you proceed to the midfield and then also find out how these three or four midfielders can also link up and then help the team. And then we provide the next step to the strikers. But you're not doing things right. You are just changing players just try and learn. One of my guys said, try and learn just to see if they can click. You see, Hudson Odoi was playing something, but at least you should have changed him if you don't have any winger to come and support Hudson Odoi or Callum Hudson-Odoi. You have to bring in, maybe you push Mason Mount to the left or to the wing, and then you bring in Havertz in the middle. Who can link up with Werner or Giroud. You didn't do any of these things. You're just enjoying the game, and then look at what happened. I will put all the blame on Lampard. The penalties is aside. We could have finished the game within 17 minutes, and then we'll be relaxing and then doing our normal things on the pitch. You didn't do anything you didn't do any of this sort, and you've made us lose. I won't say Lampard did well, the boys did well. They did really nothing.
Yeah, I know. Like I this is the question I need to ask you guys then. Then we need to look at this question because it's difficult at this point because most people are realizing that, yeah, it will take time for the boys to gel. But if you look at Lampard's in-game management, is he improving? Has Lampard improved? I mean, from what we saw last season to now. Let everybody have a chance on this one. Can we see some improvement in Lampard? Because, well, Lampard has a game under control. We saw it last season. Chelsea have the ball. Chelsea have the possession. Chelsea have the chances. They score one goal. They people hit back and we finish the game 1-1. There were a number of those games last season, 1-1, 2-2. So by this time, you feel that if there's going to be a little bit of improvement, Lampard should be able to handle a game and know that we have to win this game. Well, I don't know what you guys make of it. Let's go around the table. Who is starting? Selikim, let's start with you. Has Lampard improved? Is he improving? Let me say that. Is Lampard improving? Selikim, can you hear me? Selikim can hear me. Okay. Okay, Selikim, I'm asking you, is Lampard improving from where you start, from where you sit?
No, let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
I could see throughout the exception of the game that Lampard is playing seriously, I'm telling you, it's not improving. In the sense that you could see that was last season. We are bashing him that having a transfer ban and moreover to using academy players. So throughout the board, the guys they are playing, therefore, so we thought that if the management board give him that kind of backing and they give him all backing, you perform. You having the players, but still games like this that you could have won around 60th, 70th minute, but still you went out to a penalty shootout. I don't think if like I'm a like a team owner, I would say we are improving. No, really, Lambert is not improving because we see it. I'm expected. Timo Werner is a striker, and we are using Tam Abraham, or we are using Tam Abraham as a some striker ahead of Timo Werner, which is very unfair. Even though if you not use Timo Werner as our number one, at least you should have pushed him to the wing because you could see for the past 2 matches that he played, they're using to the wings and the way he performed, we saw it. So throughout the games that Lampard is playing, I could see it. It's not performing, and moreover to that kind of plan B that he's supposed to have, it's not happening. Seriously, if a game like this, Tottenham that is defense, and we need a creative midfielder like Kai Havertz that can come into the game, change things, and we score, and you don't identify those things to put a stop to those problems that you're having or bring a solution to the problem that you're having. Now, like I'm not convinced that Lampard is really improving. If he continues building our games like this, I think we have more problems ahead. Seriously, because I'm expecting more from him and what he learned from last season. I'm expecting him to improve more and bring all things, new things to the team, so that at least, even though we know that most of our players that you sign has yet,
Nana, your Aban, please mute. Yeah, right. All right, good. Go ahead. Okay, yeah, so you're making so you don't think Lampard has improved, yes?
No. To me, it hasn't improved at all. Because
Isaac,
to improve, this is what we're supposed to see. Because last season you used academy boys and you finished top 4. So this time around, as you have 1 or 2 experienced players in the team, at least you should have proved to the Chelsea fans that you are capable of delivering, you are capable of doing the job. But here is the case: you don't have your first team and you don't have plan B. How can you say you're improving? No, absolutely, you're not improving. Plan B is his problem. It's not having plan B.
Isaac, is Lampard improving?
George, not at all. I'm taking it from this angle. You went to the market, bought about 4 players. 1 is injured, or let's say 2 were on the injury list. 1 is playing bit by bit, match after match. 1 hasn't come yet. You see, Lampard need to get a game plan, place his signature on it for the boys to play.
Yeah.
Tactically, sometimes you will see that some coaches, it is not all about substitution, but when the game plan is not going on well, just a switch of some players to certain positions, then it will click. Yeah. But our Lampard will just stand on the touchline sometimes unconcerned. And you see, it is the Chelsea that has eaten us up, and we can't run away from the team. But sometimes, if you look at the way and manner, you see, you were asking this question whether Hobson or Doy is a starter. He is. Yeah. He is. It's about time Lampard just sit the guy down. See, you are a good player. Know when and how to dribble and when and how to release the ball. Just that, and you see we are good to go. In fact, Lampard, George, he's playing with our heart. But like I said the other time, you told me that, you see, we should wait so that the heart will be put in the water and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I know he should. I think that he should up his game. Lampard should really up his game so that moving forward, it's Premier League. He played it and he knows what is going on. If it is backroom staff, he should get some to advise him to change certain things. Other than that, George, we will be sitting here, things will move on well, and by the time you realize, hey, it has taken shape, December, then you find ourselves wanting. He should up his game. He's not improving at all.
But it's amazing. Like, I put a question on Twitter. It's amazing the reaction that's coming up. I put the question, is Lampard improving on Twitter? You won't have, it's amazing the kind of comments that are coming through. Chelsea supporters are not happy. And I think the reason why Chelsea supporters are not happy is because every Chelsea supporter believes that the team should have won the game before this penalty shootout was absolutely unnecessary. And that's the general thing that's coming out, that Chelsea had no business at all going to a penalty shootout with this very poor Spurs side. I mean, Spurs were very poor in the first half, very poor in the second half, and it's only the latter parts when, I don't know, Chelsea got tired, they just allowed them into the game. I mean, it is one big one. And you should see how people are responding to the question left, right, center. Lampard is in trouble. And you know the thing is, if the team continues this way, it will be difficult for management to defend Lampard. Unfortunately, it is Chelsea. This is where it goes. If the team goes this way and there's another performance, we are playing against Crystal Palace, is it? Is it Crystal Palace next?
Yes.
Crystal Palace,
Crystal
Palace is the kind of team, the Crystal Palace and the West Ham are the kind of teams that can handle Chelsea well in this. Because these are teams that are going to basically stay low and hit you on the counter and just move the ball as quick as they can. And they've got people like Zaha and Jordan Ayew who can cause a lot of trouble. So let's talk about Mendy. Okay, before we talk about Mendy, what did you make of Tammy Abraham's time? Quickly. Tammy Abraham's time. And then Abik, you wanted to have your say on whether Lampard is improving or not.
Lampard is, yes. I think Lampard is not improving. And if you look at our
there's a message that says that Lampard needs to go on loan.
Yes,
there's a message I got that Lampard needs to go on loan.
And George, he has to. He should be coming to Kotoko.
No, I would suggest he goes to Leeds.
He goes to Leeds United for loan.
Yes. I would suggest. And I think if I need to let's say advise Abramovich, I want him to do a quick hijack of the Leeds coach. We need to get that man to Chelsea.
Bielsa.
Because if you look, Bielsa, if you look at the way Leeds play,
he's playing young players, players who are not stars, but they are playing together.
Yes, and the mentality. You see, football is all about mentality. It's not just about the quality of the players, but their mental fitness, how they take games and how they approach matches. If you look at our games, we sometimes start on a strong note, and then the moment the game slows down, we go to sleep. Our players are caught off guard, and then within a twinkle of an eye, the ball is behind our net. Lampard has not improved in all the areas. In terms of game management, he has not improved. Team selection, he has not improved. Tactics, he has not improved. And even how to psych players up, he has not. When we are playing and you realize that the game is tough, anytime teams press us, we make mistakes. And anytime the ball goes back into our net, we are not able to pick ourselves up. The only time we saw some difference, something that we were all happy about and we're praying for it to continue, was the West Bromwich match, where we came back strongly and we were able to, for the first time in our history, come back from a 3 goals down to draw the match. I believe we need to be thinking about replacing Lampard as quick as possible. If we can do this by January, we should have a new coach in. Wherever we are, whether we are at the top, whether we are leading the log table, wherever we are, we need to let Lampard go. I don't think Lampard can be a coach that will take us where we want to be. That's my take on the Lampard issue.
All right, let's see if we can just quickly wrap it up, because we have to talk about Mendy. Who has a thought? Who has not made his comment about Mendy? No, who hasn't made his comment about Lampard before we go to Mendy? We just have a chat about Mendy.
Yeah.
Okay, Ebenezer, yeah, Lampard.
George, I think that these players we bought were not bought behind the knowledge of Frank Lampard. I mean, Frank was aware and he needed all these players.
Yeah.
You understand, to improve the game or last season's performance.
Yeah.
So if you had these players to improve your game, why then do you still suffer? You need a goalkeeper, you have it. You need a defender, you have it. So what is the problem now? The thing is, Lampard has not, and I still don't think Lampard will improve. Because you can't still base on Ziyech and then Pulisic to come and then be creating chances for strikers to score. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. So if it is possible, in fact, Frank Lampard should go on loan to Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid.
To go to loan at Atletico Madrid. He has not improved, and he is still not improving. Game management, nothing. Players arrangement on the pitch for what? This Abiba down passes should stop. Why? It's either you go to the top or comes down. No middle passes. What is that? Abiba passes. What is that? I don't like it at all. Me, they were aboard tonight. Last week I was more than. Okay, let somebody continue. Me,
I know. Let's talk about Mendy quickly and we can end. You know, it's a weekday. We have to go and rest and then prepare for it. No, it's this Carabao Cup that will bring us up around this time. And Champions League, I think. I hope you're ready for Champions League. Champions League, we'll be having chats very deep in the night. But of course, let's quickly round up with Mendy. What did you make of Mendy? I thought he had a fantastic game. I thought he had a great game. He showed a lot of promise. I mean, there were some one-on-ones. He was great at it. His reach was good. He was grabbing the ball in the air, and his spread was also good. I think got a bit of range on passing the ball. Generally looks like he can be an improvement on Kepa. But then the penalty shootout was a bit horrible, but it's no problem. I mean, one to one side, one to the other side, where he decided to switch. And it's all about the chills of a first day. So difficult to make up. But I think on his first appearance, he did well. That's where I'm coming from. He gets like a 6 over 10 for me. Let's go around quickly on Mendy, and then we can wrap it up. Let's start with Yabeku. Mendy.
Mendy was superb. You could see his movement, his command in the area. Okay, now you can sense that we have a keeper that strikers will be scared of. One-on-one situation, you have to think before you even kick. It's not easy just going around him. Just look at the save he made from is it the Tottenham number 3, Reguilon.
Yeah, Reguilon.
He had a one-on-one situation.
One-on-one situation.
Yes,
it was a great save.
Yes, that shot was and very, very, and you could see that he positioned himself very well, and he parried the ball over the goalpost. And I am happy for him. And you realize that he was also speaking. He was not just quiet. He was commanding the guys. His movement coming in for the balls, it was superb. He's going to get better. And Kepa, I'm sorry to say that will have his ass warmed up on the bench for a longer time. If he's not careful, he will start pushing for a move away from Chelsea, because Mendy is in to really fight and keep the number 1 spot. And I think it is also going to help us as a team, because where you have 2 keepers, okay, striving and competing, you get the best out of them. Anytime anyone gets the chance to keep their post, you have them giving you their best, and it is good for the team. So to me, I am happy with having him, and I look forward to seeing him more in the goalpost and keeping more clean sheets. It's just unfortunate that our defenders let him down today. Emerson could have done better. That ball should not have ended up in our net. He slept the same way Alonso did when we played West Bromwich, and it's a similar goal they used against us. But I'm pretty sure that going forward, Mendy is going to be a keeper we are all going to be proud of, just like our legend Peter Cech.
Okay, let's go over. Let's go quickly and we can wrap it up. Selikim, what do you make of Mendy?
Yeah, I do. As my colleague, I think this
Yes.
maybe I'm very well. But it's just that, like, I'm expecting more from him. I'm not giving that kind of help. Like, to me, I'll give him 5/10. Seriously, for the look of things, the way he was able to command the defense, that's the goalkeeper. That's the one.
Okay, Pelican, I think your network is really poor, but I think you made your point. Okay, Selikim, your network is poor, but I think you made your point. Nana Yaban, if you're there, can you hear from me? Tell me quickly, what do you make of Mendy?
Yeah, I think he did well, and he's going to help. I like his confidence level. You see that he had much. He was so confident, and it is something that is going to help us. And his stature too is very good. He's tall, he's big, and we see that when he was standing in the pool, he has taken all over the pool, and it's something good. Yeah, and I think but all boils down to our defense. Our defense is really poor, and it will make every goalkeeper a victim. See, it will make every good keeper a victim. You see, yes, it has lost the game from the bench. You see that you are going in a match, and I said Zuma and Tomorrow, you had no center back on the bench, which is bad. You entirely lost it. And the his game management is so abysmal. See, you cannot defend. You cannot defend. You are bringing in strikers for what? You see, the problem wasn't Giroud. The problem was we'll be able to get to Giroud. That's the issue. And you substituted Giroud, and the problem was you see,
because there are a lot of questions about why is Mason Mount playing every game? Mason Mount is tired, for God's sake. He's tired. He's just tired. The guy's a young man. He's tired. He can't create again.
He's tired.
Right? I mean, you substitute Mason Mount and bring on somebody who can create.
We clearly saw that the ball, listen, this ball, 94 minutes, defend, just defend. But unfortunately, because he didn't bring any center back on the bench, he didn't know what he could do. Only to throw in strikers. Meanwhile, at that point, we needed to defend the goal. See, Mono even started with 5 defenders. And at the latter part, you are rather bringing in players to score. Meanwhile, you need to defend your goal. You see, and so his game management is so. Even last season he was better than this season. This season that he has so much, because George, to be frank, even without Ziyech and Pulisic, I don't think this squad is so bad that we should be playing this kind of games.
Oh yeah, of course, that's for sure.
Give this team to Ancelotti. Give this team to Ancelotti. You see what you do. You see, his game management is too poor. If your system is not going right, the plan B is lacking. He's lacking the plan B, which every coach must have. See what Mourinho did. As soon as first half, he saw that we were so many in the middle. So if you could see George, as in the second half, he let his 4 backs open up. You see, he opened up the 4 backs, so you could see that they created more space for themselves. So they were going with long passes and we were all over the place. This is a good tactical manager, but you stuck with the game plan from the first minute to the last minute, which is bad. But for Mendy, yeah, he's good. He's good, but still the problem is the defense. Yeah, I don't think Kappa is that bad, but the defense is the issue. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I understand, and he clearly should have. And President Bernard, quickly with your points on Mendy, what did you make of that one?
Yeah, George, I think. George, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he was cool. He was calm, except some 1 or 2 balls he went in and couldn't get the ball. I think that's just debut something I have to talk about. But he was cool. He was calm. But I think George, we should just slow down for Lampard. I think I have the confidence that things will work out. I think we should lift our legs a little bit on the accelerator for Lampard. I think no. I think we are. Let's be frank. Let's be frank. Are we going to start Odoi when Ziyech is around? Are we going to say Pulisic will not play when he's fit in that team? Let's hold on for those guys to come in.
I know, but you see, I understand that. Like, guys, hold on. I think, I understand the bit of, yeah.
Listen, George. Last we saw City playing because there was no any better striker. We saw City were playing how bad they were just 2 days ago. Or yesterday or so. We saw how bad they were. So one player can change things. So let's just make that argument. A single player. Why is that a whole Spanish FA stop Lionel Messi from leaving? We know what he can do in the team. That guy alone. So let's just say that those players are good players. Those two players there, we know how good they can be. If Pulisic was to be in this team at this time moment, are we saying he will be giving those passes less than square passes? No way.
I think you made the point. You made the point, but you see, Lampard makes it difficult. Like now, Lampard can make it easy for himself to take the pressure away. Mason Mount is tired. He's played a game. But generally, you come on, presiding. Hold on.
Please hold on. No, I'm the one talking. Someone is talking behind me.
Okay, guys, just hold it. Like I'll just give you an example. Like Mason Mount is tired. Even this game, Mason Mount can rest. Mason Mount is not an exceptional player who must be playing every day, every game, 90 minutes. The boy is tired. And you know the point, and the thing is, maybe if you substitute Mason Mount and you have Havertz on, Havertz will give that pass to Timo Werner to score and hit the ball. I mean, give yourself an opportunity so people don't bash you. But here you used to make Mason Mount over, and the whole world is screaming and saying that the young man is tired. He will miss a penalty. He's tired, basically.
George,
but
I'm beginning to think that what maybe other fans have been saying, like Chelsea fans, we talk. Do you remember Kai Havertz starting some 2 matches? How we were bashing him that the guy is weak and the guy is this until he gave us those hat-trick.
Yeah.
And now people are saying he's okay. Mason Mount has been one of our good players, whether we like it or not. Mason Mount
he scored the goal the last game anyway. Yeah, that's right.
Last season, Mason Mount has there's no doubt about that. The argument, if please, can I make
let Presiding finish. Let Presiding finish. Yes.
Can I make
finish your point?
Yes.
Please. Yes, finish your point.
Let's not run ahead of ourselves. The guy, I agree with that he's tired, but we shouldn't say the guy is not good. He's good. I agree. He's tired. He was tired during that ending moment of the day, but the guy is good. There's no doubt.
So the argument is not. You know, actually, the argument, Presiding. The argument is not whether Mason Mount is good or not. It is about who is managing him. Like, why do you play him when he's tired?
English players. People are saying English players. But the English players got us the three comeback, the 3 players. The 3 goals we got against West Brom. English players give it to us. So why English players? If the person is good, it doesn't matter where from.
Okay, all right. You've made your point. Who's next? Who is next on it? Isaac, let's hear from you, and then we can. Isaac, let's hear from you. Come on. Okay, thank you, Bernard. Isaac, let's hear from you quickly on your point.
George.
Yes.
But I just want to go straight to the point because if I'm to add something to what my brother Bernard is saying, I think it will generate another argument. So I just want to go straight to the point.
Sure.
Mendy, I think that if the goalkeepers, trainers, and other staffs put themselves together, they are going to help the 2 guys. They are young.
Yeah.
They are young, and I think that you gave him 6. I'll give him 7. Just that some little mistake as our brothers were saying, he came in for a ball, but even with that, his recovery was very, very, very smart, and I think that is what we need from him. He was good for me. That is what I would say. He was good.
That's all you say. He was good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a final thought. So we can say, Charlie, the tempers are boiling. It's normal. Who is taking the final word on Mendy? Ebenezer, yes. Ebenezer is the final word, yes. Yes. Ali, Twitter is on fire. I mean, Facebook is on fire. Everything is on fire. Why? Wow.
But George, I don't know. Is my brother presiding Bernard the spokesperson for Lampard?
I don't even know.
I'm only saying that, you see, let's just have a balance. Like I'm always saying that, guys, let's just have a balance. Let's have a balance.
Criticize
the season has only
last
started.
time.
So yeah.
That is it. I was criticizing Lampard for his defensive selection last Friday.
Okay.
And this time, let's just say the truth. Our players. Someone will say that Hosnodoi is a good starter. Look at the chance Hosnodoi gets, and he never gave the pass. So who are we going to blame? Lampard for not telling Odoi to give that pass to what was that? To Tammy Abraham to score.
Okay,
I'm not a spokesperson for Lampard, but if something is good, let's listen. Lampard is not doing well. But we shouldn't be over. No. Even only is
don't compare him to Lampard.
All right. Okay, I think that's okay. That's okay. Let Isaac, let Ebenezer speak. Let me hear from you now. Ebenezer, quickly. Yes, Ebenezer.
No, I don't know why the guy doesn't want me to speak. What is that?
No. Yeah, okay, relax. Ebenezer, let's go.
There's a saying in our local that we won't sit here and then be saying we just started the season, so we should wait. In fact, we won't depend on only Ziyech and then Pulisic to win a game. We won't do that. And we will fire Frank Lampard. Let President know that we will fire him. You understand?
Straight. Lampard
more fire in a professional way.
Messi Mount was very tired. You should have changed him long time. And then you are saying, who is saying Messi Mount is no good? He's good. But when the time comes for you to change him, you should change him. That is what we are talking about here, not about whose quality is not quality.
Let's look at the changes Lampard did. Critically this evening. Look at the changes he did this evening. We had Kovacic came out because he was on yellow card. He was giving square passes. Chilwell was having some knocks somewhere, so he has to come out. And then Giroud, we all know, was not doing good up front. So what do you want the coach to do? All 3 changes. So what do you want the coach to do at that time? Those are the players that are supposed to come out. And the players came out. And you are saying that you take someone out.
We want him to win the match.
President, relax, okay? You are not the only.
Okay, President, relax. Okay, let's end with you, Isaac.
Relax.
Isaac, let's end with you.
No, you're supposed to relax, please.
President, just relax, okay? Me, I think that George, moving forward.
Yes.
I'll just sum it up in this way. Moving forward, Lampard should up his game because he is becoming tactically bankrupt. That is how I will put it. Yes. Because
will come at you.
Let's go ahead.
You see, he should up his game. I think that we have good players, George. I don't know whether you side with me. We have good players, but we need a tactical man to put them in their various positions to deliver.
Yeah.
And Lampard is not doing that. At the end of the day, look, just this man invested this money in the team. You were the front line and looking for players here and there. And at the end of the day, you are telling us that 2 of them, not even 2 of them, 1 is out because it's only Ziyech who is out. And you are telling us that the team cannot click. Then we will not pardon you if you don't deliver. So you should up his game.
Pressure at Chelsea. This is Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chelsea, and people need to see the team fly as quick as possible.
George, one thing.
It's true.
Please, George.
Yes, please.
George. I bought a Chelsea jersey, and the quality is very, 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 very. It's not good. Very inferior. I don't know if.
Okay, I'll send you a number. Just that. Give me a direct message. I'll send you a number. and then you can
All right.
sort
All
out.
right.
Agape
Thank
will
you
sort
very
you out.
much.
You should have a problem with that.
Thank
Good, yes. Because nice to
thank
come
you
on
very
with
much.
Chelsea Jesse. Always. That's always. Let me end with Nanaya. Nanaya, you're the last guy on the point. Quick point about Lampard. Lampard go on loan. Was it Mendy? Was it good? I mean, what? Mason Mount should have played this game at all. When is Mason Mount resting at all? I don't know. When is this?
Cannot be fair to me today. Serious.
Lampard is. I know he likes the guy. Yeah, no doubt. And Mount himself is a good player. But I think that he's overusing him at a point. Especially from last season, we saw that he was dipping. He was tired. But Lampard was playing him. I wasn't expecting Mount to start. I thought he could even start Barkley. But Barkley wasn't even on the bench. You see, and Lampard game management is very poor. Is very, very poor. And I don't know whether the backroom staffs are not helping him too. So I know that he's inexperienced. That's why he has all those backroom staff who are experienced to direct him. But I don't know whether he is not listening or they are not doing the right thing. And because you have the opportunity to take the team full season, which was last season. So by now we should improve from where you left last season.
But I mean, okay. But my only thing is that Okay, you finish. I was just thinking, can we give Lampard some chance and say, look, preseason, his players just came in, they've not played together.
No, George, no. The ball is in his own court. I believe that by the end of the first leg or the first round, where the position of Chelsea will determine his future. Because I believe that up to then, Lampard cannot give us any excuse. I believe so. He cannot give us any excuse.
All right.
Because
he won't go that far. We'll sack him early. He won't go that far.
I can promise you though, but I can promise you, if Lampard, I think that there will be a review. No. I can promise you, Chelsea for sure. After 10 games, Lampard, if things are not looking good, I mean, they'll actually. That's another thing. That one, Lampard for Chelsea.
George, on the flip side, I think we should get Mandy a new towel. The towel was
too big. Then this towel was it's a towel from Senegal. My God.
It's not easy.
The guy's towel is trademark. Anyway, guys. But let me say thank you guys for joining us, and to all of you joining us on YouTube as well. Thank you guys. Obviously, we are back on at the weekend. Chelsea up against Crystal Palace. That's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, you know. And only on the 20th of October, we're going to know what's happening. Champions is going to start, and Chelsea. Look, it's a huge season coming. That's why I said, Charlie, get ready. With this our team and the way they are playing, get ready. Richardson Jr. has been in this house, and he couldn't with the penalty shootout. He actually step out at the point. He was suspecting that Abraham will miss it, and Mount Sally.